Hello everyone and welcome back to another deck deep dive, this time featuring the latest Guzman del Bueno Spanish Mechanized Infantry Division from the latest DLC, Last Little Small Nemesis. And before we jump in here into a pretty nice mechanized deck, we go into the last shoutout for Warner League Season 6. Last chance to sign up. Groups will be built over the weekend, so sign up now and get yourself a slot in the most prestigious and also best Wano tournament out there for all skill levels, as you will only face opponents of a similar skill level no matter where you're at in 1v1 ranked. If you're a newer player, you will face other more casual and newer players in Division 4, and going up with the skill levels up to Division 1 where the highest players will face each other. There will be a prize pool as well, crowdfunded by the community, and all of it will be covered on the channel and on Twitch in live streams. So check it all out. Link down below and get yourself into the tournament. And now let's get into this lovely little division. I had quite a bit of fun, played it a couple of times now in ranked, and it is working out as I hoped it would be in my eyes, as a really nice motorized slash mechanized deck with a lot of nice support wheeled transports. And the logistics tab here already pretty solid. You get a nice BMR here with 50 cal fast CV. Could get Santanas as well that go similarly fast and have 3 availability, but we have 6 CVs that should get you through the game, and the extra armor can be helpful to survive artillery, and the 50 cal can be helpful in some situations as well. So, and the smoke especially pretty good. So I'd rather take that here instead of the Santanas in this case. We have one big supply for your artillery and your AA, and then some normal Pegaso 1000 supply trucks for the frontline resupply efforts going on. So really solid supply tab here. And infantry tab, pretty good one as well. We have some 8-man leader squadrons, can be a decent infantry leader, has smoke grenade as well, that's pretty helpful, and can come in a BMR PP that has smoke too, so can smoke themselves off from enemy fire quite nicely with the transport smokes and the infantry smokes. And you have a lot of good transports with smoke in this deck. Is your main infantry unit, the Fusiliero BMR, comes with a good anti-tank rocket launcher. Infantry firepower itself is decent with 1 MG and 7 battle rifles. It's not great, but solid. And they all come in a BMR PP with a lug grenade launcher, and you get quite a couple of these, as you get 18 here, and then you get one more transport BMR with a lug inside here from this card. So really the lug, the power anti-infantry fire support in this deck that you want. The C90 CR, really helpful at dealing with armor as well. Pretty good anti-tank launcher. Quick fire and good penetration. Solid range going around. The Epidoris, relatively solid little anti-infantry unit with the satchel charges and the MG. Could be an argument for the normal ones. Both cost 40 points. This one here has a medium machine gun, and it can come in a BMR. That's why we take it here. BMR with 2 frontal armor instead of 1 even, and no losses there. It only gets the extra frontal armor, so that is nice as well. Helps it out against other 50 cal vehicles to win the fights. Milan comes in a BMR with a Milan, so you get a couple of nice little ATGM launchers here fastly going around. Can be really helpful to give your big BMR fleet some killing power against a couple of IFVs, or a killing power against some other APCs on the other side, and maybe even take some shots against some tanks if need be. The ammunition on these is only 4, so you don't really want to fight tanks there. And the Milan 2s here inside, pretty helpful as well. You get some Milan 1s here, slightly cheaper to push around the flanks as well. And then we have a big infantry squad here with the Fusileros, so that you have some 10 hit point units for some of the easier spots. Coming in the tower, slightly slower, but also a good bit cheaper, while still bringing a 50 cal, so everything here comes with fire support. And then we have the lug as some really good fire support units and the Santanas as your multi-role that can also help out with the anti-helicopter, especially against helicopter heavy decks. You always want to open up with a couple of these going around places, and as they can enter buildings, they are relatively resilient against enemy helicopters as well, helping them out quite a bit. Artillery is okay as well. More BMRs here. BMR really the workhorse of this division. And next to that, relatively good 203mm artillery pieces here. 18 kilometers range is fine. And the 203s obviously do a lot of damage. Price is nice here, so comparable to what you get in Div Mob or Warp 57, and that is good. You can get them up to 1 vet so that the reload and the aim time is going to a decent point. And then 430 points, these things actually have a nice bite and can take out enemy ATGM positions and enemy recon units and so on quite nicely. So kill off tanks as well if you use both of them at the same time. So that is quite nice, and the slots are pretty cheap, so take them here. Not really that much else that you would want to take. The big rocket launcher here, currently not that great for its price point. The range and so on, all not that amazing. Rate of fire, also a bit weird. Tanks, this is good. You get an M48. Like, this doesn't look that great, but if you compare it to something like a Leo 185, it is actually pretty good. It has decent accuracy, it has the full range, it has 17 pen, it has smoke, and it has 10 frontal armor. So it wins against other light tanks on the duels, and it can tank a shot from a good couple of ATGMs. Obviously, you still die to a TOW 2 and a Milan 2, but all the mid-sized ATGMs you can tank a shot from. And you have a 50 cal for infantry fire support as well. So all of that is pretty solid here. At 1 vet, 5 availability is solid as well. And the M47 here is more so for the infantry support with the 50 cal and for dealing with enemy APCs and so on. Accuracy and range here, not that great, but the penetration is still pretty good. So relatively comparable to a Leo 1. You are a bit slower than these, but the extra frontal armor is helpful. Then we have some TOW 2 launchers here, giving you a bit extra range over the Milans and still giving you really great penetration as well. Another BMR here can go around with the BMR fleet nicely as well to give you some extra bite to actually take out enemy tanks, and the high speed plus the smoke really helpful on a vehicle like this as well. Recon is pretty important in this deck as well. You have a really good opener with more BMRs. The workhorse keeps on working, and it has a C90 CR as an anti-tank infantry weapon here with the Junite, and the little MG helping out this squad, winning fights against a decent amount of enemy recon infantry as well. Good arrows are there to really do that. Be good weapons here with 2 light machine guns and sniper rifle, plus satchel charges to win CQC if need be. Only 8 hit points for special forces. You would wish for 9 or 10 if possible, but still decent firepower here. So they win against all normal recon squads in infantry on infantry fights. That's nice. The normal 4-man recon squad without AT weapon here is just there because it's cheap, and you need some eyes here so that you don't run into ATGMs with your tanks and so on. That's their job here. Keep price point. You could argue maybe for the M47 E1, but with heat rounds, I don't feel like this is that fantastic. Like, with only 15 pen, it doesn't one-shot IFVs, and that's an issue. So, if it would have 16 pen on it, that would be good, but with 15 pen and low accuracy, it's actually not that useful. Back 25 here, BEC 25. That one is great. Bushmaster autocannon is fantastic. It's speedy, it has smoke. Like, this has all you need. Can go into ambushes on the enemy rear. Only has good optics, that's the only deficit here, but Bushmaster also means it wins fight against a decent amount of other autocannon vehicles out there because it just has the better autocannon. And yeah, just a great little opening unit that can give you the fire support advantage in the opener and also be a really good unit on the flanks. Helicopter, you only get one choice, but that choice is actually kind of okay for 60 points here. The Attilado It's really solid at dealing with infantry. It's not good at anything else, but the double minigun plus Hydra means that if you catch any enemy infantry flanking you, you can usually run it down, and the Hydras can be pretty good at like killing off some fire teams or so on relatively early on as well. It's just nice to have a choice of helicopters. Like, this is not a good helicopter, but there are a lot of decks by now that don't have any helicopters, and this is a massive upgrade over those because you can hunt down those flanking infantry units a lot easier than you can with those, and that is pretty helpful. And then we come to the air tap, and here we have two really solid bombers. One is C-14A here with two 1,000 kilogram bombs, and that just murders stuff. And it only has 60 seconds of reload on these bombs. So if this thing doesn't get shot by the enemy and doesn't get damaged, then it will come around and kill things every minute. And that's just super scary for the enemy. And then you have the C-14A cluster here, which has the same reload time. It drops the bombs from up high, which is really interesting currently. Likely will change in the future, but those two clusters nice for killing with IVs and scaring off blobs. The HE cluster variant has 2 minutes of reload time. Could be just fine here as well. Has the same cluster output, but the HE bombs can deal a bit of extra damage to tanks and especially infantry. And then two C-14B AA-1s here with the fire and forget missiles can be nice against shotgun fighters, are okay against everything else with the 30% ECM. The high speed of these planes makes them also really good. This one here has semi-active radar missiles, meaning that it gets better accuracy and range scaling, but it can't use them as fire and forget, so that's the trade-off here. But as you have bad sidewinders, you kind of want to only shoot your long-range missiles and then get away. So I like these guys here more with the R530s with fire and forget capabilities. So this is the Spanish deck. Strengths and weaknesses. First strengths, a great amount of good APCs. Really efficient light tanks. And good support equipment here with AA. I forgot about the AA with iHawks, with planes, like cost-efficient artillery, like cost-effective support here with the Recon and so on as well. Weaknesses, no APCs, no heavier tanks, no high-tech tanks, and also no forward deployment, which for a deck like this is annoying. Like, usually you have some random forward deployment in decks like this. I'm happy that we for once got two infantry decks that are just infantry, nothing fancy, no random forward deployment put into them. It's just pure cost-efficient infantry. But that also means that you will play from a slight speed disadvantage, even with the solid Recon tab, compared to some other decks on a similar, like, heaviness level that you usually would want to fight beat by beat. They will have a slight speed advantage, but you might have a cost efficiency advantage over them in most cases, so it should still work out nicely. And you usually can overrun their position relatively early on with your infantry or so. So, really surprisingly fun deck. I didn't expect these two Nemesis decks to be that much fun. Like, I still think the flavor of the Nemesis is not that amazing, and it's mostly just a bit more of the solid stuff, but the divisions are both really fun to play. So, yeah, let me know down below what you would change in this deck, and see you all in the next one and in Bueno League Season 6.